Do you remember it? That feeling, stepping into a massive, unknown world for the very first time? The music swells, the city gates open, and you realize you're a tiny speck in a vast digital universe filled with endless possibility. For many of us, that moment was pure magic. It was discovery, it was connection, it was our first adventure in an online world that felt truly alive. But over the years, we've been chasing that same feeling again and again through betas, launches, and relaunches, hoping to find that spark again. And yet, every time, we come up short. A new MMORPG gets announced, the hype builds, we read the dev blogs, we watch the trailers, we join the subreddit, we start to believe this is the one. And then it launches. We dive in, and after a few weeks, maybe a few months, the magic fades and the world feels smaller, the quests repetitive, the community unfamiliar. We log out, move on, and we wait for the next one. So what happened? Why do modern MMORPGs fail to capture the magic of the old ones? Is it the developers, the design, or did we, the players, change? What's up, YouTube? I am Roar, and today we're diving into the great MMORPG disappointment. We're going to explore what happened to that sense of wonder we once had, and maybe by the end we'll figure out whether the genre really died or if it just grew up like we did. Let's start with nostalgia, because whether we like it or not, it shapes everything about how we remember these games. My first true MMORPG was EverQuest, and stepping into Norath was life-changing. The world felt dangerous, unpredictable, alive. You didn't just play a character, you existed there. Getting lost was part of the fun. Teaming up with strangers to slay a monster felt monumental. Every drop of loot was earned with sweat, time, and friendship. But if you play EverQuest today, it's rough. Dated graphics, slow combat, brutal grind, it's not the game we remember. And that's because the magic wasn't in the mechanics, it was in the newness. It was the first time any of us had stepped into a living online world. It didn't matter that it was clunky, it was something we had never experienced before. Now, after 2.5 decades, we've seen it all. The fantasy kingdoms, the sci-fi outposts, the endless fetch quests. The formula hasn't changed. Level up, get loot, raid, repeat. Developers can polish it, remix it, modernize it, but the core loop is the same. We're veterans now. The things that once felt infinite now feel familiar, and familiarity kills wonder. We're not broken, we're just experienced. And that's the real nostalgia trap. It's not that the games got worse, it's that we can never play them for the first time again. It's easy to blame developers, but the truth is, we've changed too. Back then, gaming was something that we fit into our lives. We'd play for a few hours after work or school, maybe longer on the weekend, so hitting max level felt like an accomplishment because it was. It took weeks, even months, and that effort gave everything weight. Every dungeon run, every boss fight, every new zone you unlocked meant something because it took time to get there. You didn't just play a game, you lived in it. But now, we're older, busier. Some of us gave up gaming altogether, or in some cases, became more obsessive. Gaming isn't something we schedule around life anymore. For many, it is life. For streamers, content creators, and hardcore fans, the grind never ends. The moment a new MMO launches, there's a race to the top, to hit max level, to clear every raid, to upload guides before anybody else. What once took months is now devoured in a weekend. Entire expansions get completed before most people have even made their first character. Progression used to be a journey, now it's a sprint. And when you're racing that fast, there's no time to appreciate the world. There's no sense of discovery, no slow burn of anticipation. You're just consuming, checking boxes, optimizing the route, chasing efficiency instead of adventure. So how do you design a game for someone who treats every MMORPG like a buffet line? Developers can't win. They make it slow, players complain that it's too grindy. If they make it too fast, it's too easy. If they make it complex, it's too confusing. If they make it simple, it's boring. No matter what, someone's unhappy, and that tension defines the modern MMO experience. We've gone from explorers to consumers, from communities that discovered together to individuals racing alone. The journey that once bonded us has become a leaderboard. And maybe that's the real shift, not in the games themselves, but how we play them. There's another piece to this puzzle, and it's a big one. In the early days, information was earned. You didn't have guides or databases or influencers explaining the meta. You learned by doing, by wandering into a cave that maybe you probably shouldn't have, by asking a stranger for directions, by failing, and then trying again. The game's secrets weren't uploaded to a wiki, they lived inside the community. If you discovered something cool, you shared it with your guild. If someone found a hidden quest, it spread through word of mouth like some whispered legend between adventurers. Today, every MMO is solved before it even launches. Before you take your first step, YouTube already has a top 10 leveling routes. Reddit has data mined every item drop. Twitch is filled with early access streams breaking down systems, showing optimal paths, and mapping out entire worlds before they're even open to the public. Even the mystery is on a timer. There's no getting lost anymore. Not really. Every path is mapped, every stat is optimized, every secret is just a thumbnail away. And while accessibility sounds like progress, it came at a cost, because when everything is known, nothing feels magical. The problem isn't just information, it's that knowledge killed curiosity. Once we turned discovery into data, we stopped exploring for wonder and started playing for efficiency. The excitement of what's over that hill became, I already saw that on YouTube. The joy of experimentation was replaced by a fear of not being optimal. And that's just the world that we live in now, one where hype, perception, and algorithm decide the fate of a game long before most players ever touch it. I fear it's taken the lives of too many games too soon. We don't discover games anymore, we consume them. We judge them by thumbnails, reviews, and Reddit takes before we ever set foot in their worlds. And when we finally do, we already know what to expect. The surprise is gone before the adventure even begins. We didn't just master the games, we dissected them until there was nothing left to learn. Now let's talk about something that really changed the genre: money. Back in the day, you bought the box, maybe paid a sub fee. That was it. You got the game, you earned the gear, your titles, your mounts through effort, through time. But as gaming went mainstream, something shifted. Publishers realized they could make more money after the sale, and the floodgates opened. Microtransactions, pay for convenience, pay to look cool, and in some cases, flat out pay to win. And yeah, that ruined a lot of great games. But here's the truth that stings. I don't blame the developers. I blame us. Because if these cash shops didn't work, they wouldn't exist. You can log in right now to any MMO, stand in the main city, just look around. You'll see hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars worth of mounts, outfits, weapon skins, shiny pets, all bought by players. We love to hate on the corporations for being greedy, but we're the ones feeding the machine. We support it with our wallets. Every time we swipe for that shiny new mount, they take note and they make another. Listen, I don't mind paying for a great game. I'll happily buy a box copy, even pay the monthly sub if the game can stand on its own. But when weak design and creative ideas are covered up with cash shop glitter, it kills the soul of what MMORPGs were built on: achievements through effort. And the developers, they didn't take that from us. We handed it over, and I don't think we're ever gonna get it back. The other problem is creativity, or maybe the lack of it. Too many new MMOs are trying to make the same game we played 20 years ago. Some just repaint the old systems. Others start bold and lose direction halfway through development, and they launch as an empty, buggy shell. But it's not all on them, because if you've been on Reddit or any MMO forum, you already know the players are brutal. The game has to be perfect. No bugs, no exploits, no queue times, no microtransactions. Oh, and it has to run flawlessly on every PC build. Oh, and it has to be better than any MMO that came before it. Our expectations have become impossible. We say we want innovation, but when something truly new comes along, we tear it apart for not being exactly what we remember. This is why I fear we'll never be satisfied again, even when we do get something special, like Baldur's Gate 3, Helldivers 2, or Expedition 33. It feels like a win for a month. Then we move on, the excitement fades, replaced by the same hunger for the next big thing. And the games that try to be different, that might actually grow into something amazing, rarely get the chance, because by the time they find their footing, that community's already gone. Just look at New World. It stumbled early, sure. Poor management, rough launch, but it was finally starting to figure itself out. But that early first impression, it burned into the players' memories, and they never gave it another chance. Now it's gone. Another MMO casualty. This is what it's come to. Hype that burns bright and worlds that fade even faster. We keep searching for the next adventure, never stopping to savor the ones that we already found. Still, I don't think the genre is dead. Not yet. We are starting to see flickers of something new. Ashes of Creation wants to give us a living world where cities rise and fall based on player choices, where the world changes because of you. Riot's MMO carries the weight of one of gaming's richest universes. If anyone can blend lore, design, and accessibility for a new generation, it's them. Light No Fire aims to do the impossible, a seamless, planet-sized fantasy sandbox where exploration truly has no end. And PAX Day, if it can deliver on the promise of a handcrafted, social-driven world, could remind us of why we fell in love with the genre in the first place. These are ambitious dreams, maybe even impossible ones, but that's what MMOs used to be, impossible dreams that somehow worked. The real question, though, is who are they building them for? Because we, the old guard, we're chasing ghosts. We say that we want games that feel like 2004 again. We say we want danger and community and slow progress and meaning, but if we're honest, do we really? Do we have the time, the patience, or the energy anymore? Developers know the answer. They're not designing for us. They're building for the next generation, players who never knew what it was like to step into Norath or Aiden Kingdom or Azeroth for the first time. They'll get their moment of wonder, their first raid wipe, their golden age. And that's okay, because maybe our role now isn't to recapture that magic, it's to remember it, to carry it forward, to be the storytellers who remind them of what it felt like to live in worlds that truly felt endless. And if they're lucky, maybe they'll get to feel that too. We've spent decades chasing that feeling, the wonder, the mystery, the excitement of stepping into a new world for the first time. But somewhere along the way, the magic faded. Not because the worlds got smaller, but because we've seen them all before. We grew up, we changed, and so did the games. Developers are still building incredible worlds, but they're not building them for the same players anymore, the same audience. They're building them for the next generation, for the ones who still have that spark of discovery that we've long since burned through. And that's okay. We had our golden age. We lived it. We made it. But we can't expect to feel the same again, because that first adventure, that first moment of awe, it only happens once. We will never relive the joy and bewilderment of the first time you stepped into Aiden Kingdom or Norath or Azeroth. We are too accustomed to this experience now. We're acclimated. MMORPGs can't catch us by surprise anymore. Unfortunately for us, the adventure is over. Of course, that doesn't mean we can't have fun. It doesn't mean we can't get excited, but those glory days are long gone. So while many people think that the MMORPG genre is dead, it's not. It's just dead to us.